Welcome back to another episode of the Face Mask Podcast, everybody. It was officially the first week in the books for the NHL season, and let's go ahead and...
It was an abbreviated week, but technically, yeah.
Let's go ahead and go over, review it, analyze it.
Yeah, we're going to talk, it's just Orb and No Doubt Dog in this episode. Jay and Justin will be back for the next hockey one that we do. And so we're just going over the things that are really catching us off guard. We're kind of surprised by. And one of the things I'd like to talk about, like right off the rip, the Bruins start 3-0. Everyone on the podcast predicted them to do poorly, and I think
them to finish last in the Atlantic.
So. Yeah. Everyone didn't. I mean, I think everyone out there is saying that the Bruins are going to have a rough year. So when they start 3-0, I was like, whoa. Now, the day of the recording this, they did finally lose to Tampa Bay, which is a pretty good team.
Yeah, pretty good team.
You know,
so, understandable.
Yes. They didn't, like, at the beginning of the year, they weren't going to, like, oh, Tampa Bay, like, yeah, no, that's a loss regardless. But their 3 wins, the first one against my Caps. The Capitals were home, so that was a road win against the Capitals. That's impressive. It was a 3-1 victory. Then it was an overtime victory against the Blackhawks. Okay, 4-3 OT win.
Yeah, which that's one of the worst teams last year. Although I think the Blackhawks will be better. I mean, still beating the Capitals is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And then they beat the Sabres 3-1.
Sabres, that's another.
So it's another bottom of the barrel team. But then you saw them beat a good team like the Capitals, and you also saw the Bruins only lose by 1 goal to the Tampa Bay Lightning today.
Yeah.
So the Bruins, even though they're technically not undefeated anymore, still very impressive start to the season.
Yeah, they got 6 points through 4 games. So that's impressive. And I was shocked by it. And another thing that I'm thinking of, what if Swayman holding out last season and then he came back, and the goaltending wasn't as good when he came back because he held out and he didn't play preseason and stuff like that. But he didn't do that this year. He was there all preseason. And, a little more of the, Swayman's a good goalie. I mean, bottom line, good goalie, Their defense, here or there. Pasternak, one of the best in the NHL.
Yeah.
So I think Swayman being there for the preseason and getting up to speed, is a big reason why they have 6 points within the first. It's not even technically the first full week. They didn't start till Tuesday, and it's Monday. So the first 6 days of the season, and they already got 6 points.
Yeah.
So
the Bruins off to a very hot start.
Yeah. Yep. And then I want to touch why we're also talking about. I hinted on the Lightning. They won, but I did. When I took these notes, this is one thing I was going to point out. A Lightning, 2 losses so far.
Yeah.
Before today, and they lost to the Sens and the Devils.
2 better teams. I mean, they both made playoffs last year, but
the Lightning are better than both those teams.
They are. Yeah, no, they are.
Okay.
Just, I guess, slow start for the Lightning. They didn't get their first win until today, right? Today was their first win, and they had their backup then.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah, I wanted to touch on the Lightning. You know, 2 losses already, and so that would lead us into. I also wanted to touch on the Sharks, where we all like the Sharks on this channel except Jay.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the good old Sharks.
Yeah, San Jose Sharks. um, it was, oh man, I did watch both those games. Um, it was pretty tough to watch. I mean, there were bright spots, but the how they lose them both was that can really change the course of the progression for weeks, maybe a month. When you lose like that in overtime back to back, it's demoralizing. Thank goodness they're a young team. They're a young team that could recover from that. If they were an older team, they would probably not do good for. You could probably cancel all of October. You know, an older team like let's say an older team like the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're older, except Matthew Knives, and if they were to lose back-to-back games in overtime, I think the Leafs would struggle to bounce back from that, to get that momentum back up to what it was. And the Sharks are young; they haven't lost enough, not yet. A couple of those Sharks have,
Yeah.
but they haven't lost enough to where that like drains them, and so. Well,
Speaking of young Sharks, Michael Misa, he's gonna get his first ever start next game they play, which I believe is Wednesday.
Okay, all right.
So excited for that. So is Sam Dickinson. I think he's
Well, no,
expected.
he was in the last game.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't get to watch the Ducks game, unfortunately, because I was at work. But I know they lost. I know they lost 7-6. That's the game Askarov played. And
Yes,
Yaroslav Askarov is one of my favorite prospects. I think he'll
he's
be
my
solid.
favorite Shark.
Yeah, I think he'll be solid, but
It was
it's just
it was a rough outing.
building block.
Yeah, you can't sugarcoat it. It was rough. It was embarrassing, and that he's also young, so I'm expecting him to bounce back from that. Like, I mean, you got as a goalie, you got to have that mindset anyway. You got to have shit bounce off your back and come back,
Yeah.
and you know. So if he was an older goalie, that might, maybe like we're watching the Blues game, maybe if Bennington would have a game like that, next game might not be so good. So he's young.
Especially with Bennington, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, no.
Bennington will act like Jesus Christ for a week, and then he'll act like a pile of dog shit for a week.
Yeah,
And I'm not.
He's really 50-50.
I'm not talking shit on. I mean, I am, but like not directly. I'm just talking on shit on his consistency, because we've seen him be a really, really good goaltender, Jordan
No,
Bennington,
yeah, no, he's played like he's top 5 goalie.
before. Yeah,
Mhm.
but then we've
And
also
then we've
seen some
also
rough
seen him
moments.
a bottom 5 goalie
Yeah.
before. So, yeah. So, I mean, the Sharks, they got 2 points out of it, and that's good. I mean, they're expected to be down low anyway.
Yes.
So
So I would say sneaking out 2 points.
off Vegas.
Well, 1 point from Vegas, but 2 points early in the season.
Yeah.
That could definitely help you later down the road.
Yep.
And as much as I don't want to, because I hate Vegas, we got to talk about them. Jack Eichel's leading the league in points and leading the league in assists, and Pavel Dorofeev. I can't pronounce his name that
Pavel
good.
D.
Pavel Dorofeev. I know it's not how you pronounce it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Obviously,
He's leading the league in goals, isn't he?
he's leading the league in goals. He had the home opener.
He had a hat trick in the
in the home
first
opener. And then he got 2 goals against the Sharks, so that put him at 5.
Did he get 2 against the Sharks?
Or he at least got 1. I know he's
Yeah.
sitting at 5 goals currently right now.
He's got a lot of goals.
Yeah. Jack Eichel leading the league in points and assists. So pretty bright things for the Golden Knights. Mitch Marner, I mean, he's been involved getting a few points, but not off to a super good hot streak. But that's only because
Not worth the money.
That's only because Dorofeev, or however you actually say his
That will
name.
be.
Just because he has just taken all the spotlight, and then Eichel has been racking up all the assists because he's a playmaker, and that's one of the things about the Golden Knights. They got a lot of playmakers. Like Eichel and Mitch Marner are the league's 2 best playmakers. They like passing. They don't like shooting a whole lot. I mean, they will, but so so I feel like Mark Stone, Riley Smith, those guys are gonna just be sneaky good this year and probably get a good amount of goals. And Mitch Marner keeps being the great playmaker that he is.
Yeah. And I'll just go back and talk about the Sharks because I don't like the Knights.
I don't either.
Okay. Let's go back to the Sharks and what I jotted down. The Sharks last year finished the year with 52 points. Within the first week, they already got 2 points. So it's kind of a stepping stone. Yeah, honestly, before the year, you look at the Knights versus the Sharks, that's a blowout loss.
Yeah, normally.
You're not getting a point. On paper, you're not getting a point. And the Sharks squeaked one out, and it was at home. So that's good. That's good. The one where I would doubt a little bit is against the Ducks. That's a division rival, and I think they're comparable. The Ducks are also a young team, so you like to see them get 2 points from the Ducks. Normally without them getting a point as well. They'll win in overtime, just win in regulation.
Yeah.
But it has been a thing even dating back to last year and the Sharks not being able to finish games. That's going to have to change. And they better figure it out before November comes around.
Yeah.
Like if they're just going to be thrown away games like third period. Oh my goodness, we have to lead and there's 15 minutes left in the third period. And then, oh my goodness, there's 10 minutes left and now it's a tie game. Oh, there's 7 minutes left in the third period and oh, we're down by 1. Like, yeah, no, you cannot have that. That's bad hockey. That's bad
Alex
hockey.
Nedeljkovic come running out of the crease to go play a puck along the boards like he's a defenseman.
Well, to his credit, it was going to be a 2-on-0. He was trying to make it not be a 2-on-0.
I would have just taken the chance because you got to have a little bit of faith in your skills as a goaltender.
A 2-on-0?
I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, but
okay.
You basically are just admitting defeat. It's like it's a race with me and my 30 pounds of goalie equipment on versus this skater, and the skater won.
Yeah.
And not ripping on any goalies out there who like playing the puck. There's an old saying out there: "You're a goaltender, tend the goal."
You could rip on. You want to rip on him? Rip on him for letting the tying goal in.
With Jack Eichel. Yeah, no, that was pretty
from
bad
outside
too.
the offensive zone.
That was pretty bad too. I think that was
more embarrassing.
Yeah,
in my book, it was more.
No,
go ahead and comment.
Wasn't
which do you think is more embarrassing? The tying goal against the Knights for the Sharks, the Knights, or the winning goal where he was playing defenseman, and it did not go well. So, go ahead and comment. What do you guys think? Justin and Jay, you can go ahead and comment as well because we're interested in what you guys think. On the bright spot, though, for the Sharks, they got 9 goals for. That's good. The offense is there. But 11 goals against, hopefully that'll calm down a little bit and they'll take more goals against, less goals against throughout the year, actually within the first month. I want this. I want this stuff kind of wrapped up before November rolls around. Like, let's get away from being able to finish games, hold leads, and stuff like that. So, I want to talk about some actual Sharks players before we move to the next topic. Celebrini, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
He is the franchise. There's a reason he's got the A. Like, he's a franchise player. And I didn't make a note of it, but Will Smith has also played fairly well. And I didn't think Will Smith did nothing outstanding last year, but he's making his name known out there so far this year. And but the other name that I want to touch on, because I like what the Sharks did on the back end, the defense. The defense was abysmal last year, and they knew that. They addressed it with a lot of free agent acquisitions, and one person that I just think that has played really well in both games, and it's a oldie. It's a oldie but goodie. John Klingberg.
Yeah.
He 2 games I've seen, I've been impressed. He's what he's doing what we brought him here to do. A little bit of offense and defense. Like, he's a good two-way. He was more offensive when he was young, but he's a good two-way defenseman now, and I've seen him be a two-way defender in those 2 games. More so better than Dmitry Orlov. Dmitry Orlov had a rough first game. He had a better second game, but nothing as remarkable as what John Klingberg has done in those 2 games.
Yeah.
Fiaro, I didn't make a note of him, but also bragging him up. I saw improvement in him as well, and he's going to need to take that next step. And that Fiaro was homegrown. They didn't bring him in. He's been there a while, so, but he's still on the young side. Hell of a lot younger than Klingberg.
Yeah. I like what I've seen from Klingberg so far. He's like pretty good. A lot of more shot attempts than I thought he would try, but I'm not complaining.
Which is good. That leads to rebounds.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining whatsoever. No, I think he's been pretty solid. Pretty good contract, $4 million 1 year, and very early in the year, but so far it's looking like it'll be just fine.
Yeah, an improvement from last year. So, all right, you want to talk about anything you wrote down?
All right, so
your notes.
Well, speaking of D-man, let's go to this. Lane Hutson, guy just won the Calendar, 8-year, $70.8 million contract. So that equals out to 8.85 average annual value, AAV. So 8.85. What would you rate that 1 through 10, that contract for the Canadians?
Based on he had 60 some points last year in his rookie year. That's honestly, I think that's kind of a good contract.
I think it's a good contract too.
Yeah, I would say that's at least an 8 out of 10 contract wise.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. You go ahead, you lock up this young guy who just had a great year. Now, if this was the NHL 5 years ago, I'd have been like, that's a lot of money. But we've seen it with Kaprizov and just about a few others. I'm sure we'll see it more soon here as it keeps going up and up. The salary cap is going up even more and more for the next 3 years. So 8.85 is like back in the day what 5 or 6 million would have did. 5 or 6 million back in like the 2010s, that's like what Shea Weber, the PK Zubans were making, like maybe $6 million. But now that is like the 8 to 9 range is like the new 5, what I mean.
Or the 6.
Yeah. So if you understand that logic there, I would say that's very good. And they also got Noah Dobson. I'm really excited for this Canadian teams. And I jotted this down, and I wanted to talk about it. Zachary Bolduc is actually leading the Canadians with 3 goals. Now you're thinking, well, that's not like news breaking or anything.
Yeah, don't expect him to be the leading the goals. Like, that's just beginner's luck.
No. The main reason I jotted that down is because when we were doing the preseason, or not the preseason, when we were doing the reviews and going over the standings, when we came to the Canadians, I was like, hey, they got this guy from the St. Louis Blues, Zachary Bolduc, who is pretty promising. He is fairly young. I like Zachary Bolduc. He's a very solid winger. He's already got 3 goals on the season, so that was me just trying to suck my own dick for a little bit. But yeah, Zachary Bolduc looking like a pretty good fit so far for the Canadians. And let's go and talk about the first round pick. Let's go back to talking about D-Man. Matthew Schaefer. Pretty impressive start to the year so far. 2 games played. He's going to have 1 goal, 1 assist, and his plus-minus rating is going to be a +1.
He picked up an assist today.
So now it's 3 games played, 1 goal, unless he scored a goal, 2 assists, and so 3 points, and at least a +1. Might be up more. But the games are currently being played right now as we're doing this, so that is why we're kind of updating it on the fly.
Well, Islanders game is already over. So.
Yeah, no, the Islanders, yeah.
They only scored 2 goals.
But Schaefer did get an apple, I know that. And but still.
Just an assist.
But still, D-Man getting points is kind of rare. So anytime they get a point, it's like, hey, solid.
Yeah.
And Leon Draisaitl for the Edmonton Oilers, he reached his 400th all-time goal on their first game, I believe.
It's a hell of a feat.
Yeah. So congrats to Leon Draisaitl. Panthers still looking like they're the kings of the NHL. 3-0 start. 3-0 start when they don't have Sasha Barkov or Matthew Tkachuk.
I'm shocked by that.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to lie. I went against my better judgment, and the Blackhawks versus the Panthers game, even though you're like, well, the Panthers, they just won the Stanley Cup. Like, they're missing their 2 best players, but they still just won the Stanley Cup. And the Blackhawks
I would have took the Panthers. I took the Panthers.
I took the Blackhawks.
Oh,
see, no, like,
don't admit that.
It was a close game. But I was like, dude, Spencer Knight revenge game. I was sold on the idea.
Yeah.
And Spencer Knight didn't do horrible. It was very bad defense, though. Very bad defense for the Blackhawks. Well, I guess we're talking a lot about defensemen, but hey, Blackhawks need to pick up some blue liners for sure.
Yeah.
That was not great defense whatsoever. I saw in crucial moments in that game, Connor Bedard. Now let's be real. If he was going against Barkov, he would have lost just about every draw. But he had a chance. He was going against Sam Bennett. Hey, I like Sam Bennett, but he's no Alexander Barkov. And Connor Bedard still got absolutely dominated in the dot, in the faceoff circle. Mm. And I thought they were seriously considering moving him, putting it right winger for a little bit. And that game, it didn't look like it whatsoever. I barely saw him on the wing. He was taking draws a lot, and he got dominated. I don't know his exact percentage, but I don't think he's off to a great start in the face-off winning percentage.
Yeah. That's I want to let's talk about the biggest news happening is McDavid. I know we didn't take notes on it, but McDavid.
Yeah.
Signing for 2 more. He did a 2-year extension.
I did make a YouTube short about that, but yeah, in case you guys haven't seen that, since technically the last episode we didn't get to touch on that, it happened after.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well,
2-year
extension for $12.5 million.
12.5. Whew, man.
That's a discount.
Yeah. Kaprizov just what was his 18?
17.
17 and some change?
No, 17 only.
Just 17 flat. Okay. Yeah, no. So In the past episodes, I was talking about like Kaprizov is not the type of player that McDavid is. That's McDavid money Kaprizov got.
Mm-hmm.
McDavid took a hometown discount. It's very clear. He left money on the table, and for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
I think it's very cut and dry, but we'll go ahead and say it.
Yes.
Anyway, he's basically saying, Edmonton, if you don't figure this out, if Stuart Skinner can't stop a puck in the playoffs in these next 2 years,
yeah,
deuces. I'm out.
Yep.
I mean, that's as clear as it gets. A lot of, like, we all know McDavid could have got a lot of money if he actually wanted to.
Because you were talking about the salary cap going up and up and up.
Yes.
No.
Like, Paul Bissonnette, I believe on the Spin and Chicklets podcast, was calling McDavid Mother Teresa. How big of a discount he is.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's a huge favor for the Oilers. We already saw it pay off when they re-signed Wallman. Wallman, $7 million. I like that. A few people might say it's an overpayment, but hey, Wallman's a nice, gritty defender, and he led the playoffs in block shots. He'll play defense when you need him to. Yeah, I like him better than Darnell. Well, yeah, he's a defenseman, but he's not like Bouchard, and like I'm not taking shots at Bouchard, but I don't think I've ever seen Evan Bouchard actually stop a zone entry. Ever.
Yeah.
It's bad. So yeah, he's kind of like a Erik Karlsson. Bouchard is. So I don't really care that much about actually playing defense. I just care about points because that's what the casual fan cares about.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so yeah, no. And we were talking me, Jay, and Orb, we were talking when that signing happened, and like in that third year, like this season isn't part of the 2-year extension, so they technically have him for this year and 2 more years after this year. So that's how it was laid out. But we were talking, remember me bringing this up, I was like, in that third year, they're going to be a playoff team. Of course they are. But do you trade him to get...
Think about the haul you would get if you haven't won a cup yet.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think Edmonton or
McDavid is saying deuces regardless. If he wins the cup in that third year, I say he'll stay. But you're going to pay him more than 12.5.
Which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But here's what I would do. If I was the Oilers GM and it's around the trade deadline, if I can speak. But yeah, trade deadline, and we are one of the better teams in the league. Looks like we're gonna make playoffs. And we haven't won a cup yet. If that exact situation happens, I'm keeping McDavid. I am. I'm sorry. I know the haul would be insane. But I don't think a team would go overly stupid with it because they know it's only a year with McDavid or half a year with McDavid.
No, not even a half a year.
Just essentially a postseason with McDavid.
Yeah, a third of the year.
But
yeah, and postseason. Yeah.
And if you're in playoff contention, why not roll the dice one more time with McDavid? If you win, because when you trade McDavid, you're essentially saying you're never becoming an Oiler again. He's going to go to his new home, and it's probably going to be a playoff contender if this exact situation happens.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, okay, now I'm here. Let's just say, for example, it's someone like the Devils, even though they really don't need center position. Let's just say it's them. Let's use the Hurricanes. That's a better example because they're a little bit better than the Devils, in my opinion. Let's say it's the Hurricanes.
That 12.5 is easier to move.
Yes. If you go to someone like the Hurricanes, like McDavid did, he's going to be like, I'm a Hurricane now. Like, he's going to keep suiting up in Carolina. At least that's my guess is. He's like, this team is contending for a cup, just like the Oilers were. A little bit more of a stable situation, better defense, better goaltending. Little less offense, but hey, you got McDavid, you got Sebastian Aho.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So,
I think just if that exact scenario happens, I think you should just keep McDavid. I know I just went on a series of a bunch of hypotheticals, but when we're talking about potentially one of the best players of all time, if not the best player of all time in hockey, you need to talk about it this much. Like, you need to go. There's a lot of hypotheticals. This is a big deal.
Oh.
This is humongous for Edmonton because Edmonton will not see the Stanley Cup. I promise you, they will not see Lord Stanley for the next 20 years if they don't win it in the next 5 with McDavid. And you can stamp that.
Yeah. If I was the GM, I would go a different route than you.
You would trade it?
I would trade. If you haven't won a cup this year, next year you don't win. The third year, think about the haul that you could get.
You would need to get a playmaker for Draisaitl, though.
Draisaitl is a playmaker all his own.
I like Draisaitl, but he's more of a OV kind of player. Just like, hey, give me the puck, I'll shoot, I'll score.
Yeah, no, and that's part of the Oilers' problem is they're fucking top heavy. They put Draisaitl and McDavid on the same fucking line. Like, no, just don't do that. Like no.
It depends. I mean, I would hear up offers if I was the GM. But if you're not giving me a solid center, like at least a top 10 centerman in the league in that trade, I'm just saying no. Because think about it, if you get like a weak defenseman or a weak centerman from someone, like let's say, I like Tim Stützle, but let's say you get like maybe Tim Stützle or something. Oh, he's good. He's good. Him and Draisaitl, that would actually be pretty cool because they're both German. But hey, who is going to be picking up all that slack that McDavid was doing? Because you're going to need someone from the third or fourth line to do that. You think Trent Frederick's doing that?
No,
you think Adam Henrique's doing that?
McJesus is going to get quite the haul. Quite the haul. And
it would have to be more than just picks. It would be more than just picks.
Of course. When you move them, you're going to get quite the haul. And to follow that up with even greater haul, I would wait in that third year. This is what I would do. I would wait till that third year when the Oilers go on a losing streak. And it could be December, January. Think about the haul that you would get if you trade him before the deadline. You're giving a team McJesus in January. Way to start the new year, and that's worth a lot. Rather than just getting him in March, finish March, beginning of April, and then playoffs. You trade him, then you're getting an arm and a fucking leg and a used bag of pucks and some practice nets that you could string up. You're going to get a lot if you move him mid-year, mid-season, rather than the deadline.
Minimum, if the Oilers somehow don't win a cup in the next 3 years, which is
highly likely.
Highly likely if they don't do something for getting depth or getting goaltending. I would need a minimum an all-star, 2 other respectable players, minimum, and 3 picks. And I would say that's the minimum. Yeah. But anyway, let's move on. We could talk about the.
Oh yeah, no, we
could talk about McDavid's
McDavid's
scenario with Oilers, what the hell the Oilers have been doing, what they can be doing, what they should have done. We could talk about that for hours and hours upon end. Let's go back to present day. Instead of looking at the future, let's go back to present day. A little bit of an odd stat for you guys. The Vancouver Canucks, they are 9 for 9 on the penalty kill. They've started the season perfect on the penalty kill. But on the power play, they are 0 for 6. They haven't scored a single power play yet. Now, I know when this gets posted, it will change because it's literally playing on our TV
on the
right
TV.
now.
That the Vancouver Canucks just scored a shorthanded goal.
They scored a shorthanded goal, and
Their second goal was
I
shorthanded.
saw Nathan Walker scored a power play goal. So the penalty kill is no longer perfect. But hey, technically we wrote all this stuff down before this started.
Yeah.
So within the first 3 games for the Canucks, I believe, or 2 or 3 games for Canucks, they were perfect on the penalty kill, 0 for 6 on the power play. Obviously, it's a little different now, but you can't start. I mean, hats off being perfect on the penalty kill.
Oh yeah,
that's
very
amazing.
Good. Very good.
But I'm going to give you as much props as I did for the penalty kill, as much criticism as I gave you for a power play. 0 for 6 on the power play? Dude, the power play should be like a freebie. It's like not a guaranteed we're going to score, but it's like, all right, it's highly likely.
Yeah.
So 0 for striking out 6 times in a row? Not even getting one little lucky tip in or anything?
Yeah.
That's, oof.
Yeah.
I mean, is that because they lost JT Miller, do you think?
I don't know. Justin, go ahead and comment. He's a big JT Miller fan.
I do too. How do you feel about him being named the Rangers captain?
I'm not a big fan of JT Miller, so I got nothing to say about that.
Really? You don't like him?
Nah, not a fan.
I kind of like JT Miller, but if you were going to give anyone that captaincy, I honestly I would have went with, well, first of all, goalies should be able to be captains. I think it's stupid that they got rid of that. That was way back in the 90s though, right? Early 2000s.
Yeah.
But, so, Shesterkin, realistically, should be the captain, if you want me to be honest. But other than him, I think Adam Fox should be the captain.
Fox or Trocheck? I'm a big Trocheck guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm big on Trocheck.
But I would give it to Adam Fox or then maybe Panarin.
Panarin's a good A guy.
Yeah.
Not a C guy.
Panarin's not like he is a really good player, but I just don't see him being much of a communicator. I mean, maybe he is. Maybe I'm talking on my ass, but I've not seen many clips where he's communicating or just trying to help his teammates. He's more of a be by himself kind of guy, personality wise, at least from what I've seen. Again, I might be wrong, but
that's an A guy.
Yeah, that's an
A guy. Lead by example. Yeah, no.
What does coach want to do? Yeah. Stuff like that. See, guys, I'm walking in. It's like, hey, you got to do this. You got to do this. Hey, guys, we are not putting enough energy into our power play. Stuff like that. It's like, when I'm shooting from the slot, I need you guys to go crash the net for rebounds, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And get all the tenacity up and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, that's what I think the Rangers should have did. But I don't hate JT Miller being the captain. I just feel like there was 2 people who deserved it more. And
JT Miller just got there this year.
Well, it's his second stint, so he knows a good amount of the people. But yeah.
That's like being fired and coming back after six months. Like, hey, I'm back, guys. Here I am. Oh, you're gonna promote me to team captain? Ooh, fuck that. All right, that's enough Ranger talk.
This guy hates the Rangers as much as he hates the Knights.
Pretty much. But you know what? I'm not a Bruins fan. But that was one of the things. That's the first thing I wrote about is the Bruins. So, Bruins, I don't like you, but I can tip my cap to you. That's a good start to the season.
Absolutely.
Holy shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another thing that I wrote down, I want to talk about, because I did watch that Sharks and Ducks game. I know we talked a lot about the Sharks, but I want to talk about the Ducks. And another episode where we were talking about the beginning of the season and blah, blah, blah. And I said I was kind of high on the Ducks. I like their coach. Joel Quenneville, you could tell with how the Ducks played the Sharks. They are a very respectable opponent. Will they make playoffs? Probably not. Will
I
they?
don't think the Ducks will. A lot of people think they'll sneak in a wild card, actually.
That they might. They might.
I think they're missing a defenseman, if you want me to be truly honest. But I think they definitely have the potential.
Yeah, yeah. But I do want to talk about one player, a rookie, Beckett Sanecki.
Yeah, on this podcast, we are not very good at pronouncing names, by the way.
Beckett
Which doesn't go
Sanecki.
which doesn't go hand in hand with NHL players because most of them are, other than being American and Canadian, obviously most of them are like Russian or Czech Republic or Finnish or Swedish. So, but anyway, sorry.
Yeah, Beckett Sanecki, 2 goals, 3 points in the first 2 games. That's pretty respectable. That's a hell of a way to open up your NHL career.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's a name though, and he was even not just point like that. That's 3 points in 2 games, but I was watching the game and you could see that he's making a name for himself where he's not getting points, and the commentators were even pointing it out, and I was like, oh my goodness, who is this kid? Who is this? You know, and the Sharks announcers were even talking about him, like, so they were praising him, and like, yeah, so that's a good name to keep an eye out for.
Absolutely.
Beckett Sanecki. So yeah, that's.
I think that's about it. You got anything else you want to say?
No, we touched on the McDavid thing and the thing that he's doing to the Oilers. He's given them the option to win within 3 seasons.
What's it called? I think it's called like an ultimatum.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Relationship.
Yeah. And hats off to him. He took the pay cut. Yeah. He left millions and millions of dollars on the table to just win a cup, and that's how important a Stanley Cup is to hockey players. I mean, that's good. It's the holy grail.
I like it. Hats off to McDavid. We need to see more of that. A lot of people will run around and get all these big contracts, wonder why they don't win.
Yep.
And I know I'm gonna sound like an old person, but hey, there's a reason why Crosby won so much. They were able to bring in Kessel when he was good. They were able to keep Letang there, Flower when he was
in his prime.
Prime, like Malkin, obviously.
Yeah,
like that's why
Crosby left money on the table too.
Left pay cuts. The greats always normally do pay cuts. Tom Brady in football,
so,
he took pay cuts.
I was gonna bring Brady up.
Yep.
And that's the reason why the Patriots were so good in the NFL. Yes. Yeah, because Brady liked winning and took pay cuts so that he could get pieces around him. And that's what really McDavid's done that from kind of the start, you know, and the Oilers front office has not built up enough around him.
No.
And he's pretty much given them a deadline to listen, you got 3 seasons.
Well, for the Oilers' sake, they do have a blessing and a curse by having McDavid and Draisaitl. You got 2 top 5 players in the league, and when they're, I think you could say that 2 top 5 players. Yeah.
That's not why I looked to you. I was just looking.
It's a blessing, but then it's also a curse when it comes.
Especially when you play them on the same line.
Yeah, but it's a curse like when it's time to open up your wallet book or whatever checkbook. That's what I'm about to say, checkbook. So it's a curse, and you're able to get not great defensemen, not great goaltending.
Yeah.
Decent. I would say depth used to be a lot of it, but they've gotten slowly better and better at depth. Now the finger was like pointing at like depth and goaltending, and now this finger's starting to come over to goaltending with Stuart Skinner and just say, dude, it might be just Skinner.
Yeah.
Because they have gotten a tad bit better. They got Trent Frederick and Mangiapane. I liked how they added him.
Mangiapane, yeah.
But anyway, again, like I said, we could do.
Yeah,
we could talk
go
about the
forever.
whole McDavid situation forever. So
Yeah.
I believe that is all we got for the NHL. If you guys don't know, we do NHL and NFL on this podcast. We're gonna try to do a week by week basis for NHL. Cover the first week, then the second week, stuff like that.
Yep, and headlines.
Headlines, trades, contracts like Hutson. Rookie watch like Matthew Schaefer, Michael Mises. Going to get his first start soon. Sure, we'll talk about that a little bit.
Yep.
We'll have a little bit less Sharks talk for you guys. Sorry if you guys don't like the Sharks, but hey.
They need talked about.
But hey, guys, see you in the next one. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're listening on Spotify. Make sure to download, rate us 5 out of 5 stars. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Face mask.